Put your hands together. Somebody scream, Shayna! Shayna! Come on and get into it.
Well, I'll be there. I'm feeling alright. 'Cause I'm feeling high. Look at happiness and I know it's mine. I'm feeling alright. Gotta let it go. It's funny how these things don't kill my flow.
I consider my music to be R&B, like kind of a classic, funky R&B soul, but with a lot of jazz influence. I call it the Shayna Steele sound.
I'll be there. I'm feeling alright. 'Cause I'm feeling high. Look at happiness and I know it's mine.
It's been about 6 or 7 years that I've been running the band, and I had just finished doing my last Broadway show, or it was in the midst of my last Broadway show, and I ran into this guy, David Cook, who is not the American Idol. David Cook, the pianist, he had just finished touring with NSYNC, and he was co-writing with a friend of mine, my friend Gavin Creel. They were collaborating, and I really liked the way that he played. I listened to him play, and I was just like, I really like your vibe, I like your sound, would you want to write some stuff with me? And he was just like, yeah, I love your voice, I think you're great. So I put like all my journals together. I think I had journals from like 5 years, and I just copied all the pages. He started like piecing things together and said, this is what I came up with, and he would play this little line here and this little line there. And the first song that we wrote was Dying, which was on my EP. It was the very first song that we wrote together, and I was like, oh yeah, this is it. This is the perfect combination. So then we pulled a band together, and we did our first gig in February of 2003, and the moment I stepped on that stage and I started doing my own thing, and like everybody seemed to really dig it, I was like, oh, this is it. This is what I want to do. This is where I belong. This is where it's at. Evolved quite a bit since we started the band in '03. It just kind of evolved. I just started listening to more music and just kind of developing, like, especially the jazz elements of my sound. I was listening to more and more jazz and doing a lot more straight ahead, and I think it keeps people's ears interested. You know, it perks them up because they just haven't really quite heard R&B like that before.
I've seen suffering and bleeding and praying and crying, so I ask, what are we giving?
What Are We Giving was inspired by Hurricane Katrina. You know, being from Biloxi, Mississippi, Hurricane Katrina really affected me and my family. It was like, I was so ticked off about it, and I really felt like I had to do something, I had to say something. That's kind of, the song covers that. It covers poverty, it covers, you know, the victims of Katrina, it covers like what's going on in America's mind right now.
I've seen rape and molestation, broke down mamas falling hard. I've seen black people dying.
Kiss That Girl is kind of my anthem, and when I was writing that song, I was at a place in my life where I just felt lost. I didn't really know what to do. I just ended a really bad relationship, and it was just kind of like the suck it up and take it and move on, Shayna. You're gonna be cool, you're gonna be all right. So this is just kind of saying, you know, if I can be okay, you can be okay too. So, you know, listen up and you'll be all right.
You'll be strong because you have to be. And you'll be fine, just take a look at me.
I performed with Bette Midler, I performed with Lettucey, who is also another big influence of mine. I performed for Stevie Wonder. I opened for George Clinton a couple years back, and working with Moby was really cool. He kind of found me by accident. I had a friend of mine, Jason Page, this really great singer out in LA, was, I guess, friends with his manager or friends with the label, I don't know. You know, they were talking on the phone, and the guy called him and says, I need a really great like soul singer, like someone who can scream. And he says, oh, you gotta call my girl Shayna Steele, she'd be great. And so I guess I sent my demo to Moby and to his label, and they really liked me. I mean, like 2 days later, I was at Moby's house, and we were just like, you know, kind of messing around with some vocals, and he played a couple things for me, and then he was just like, okay, this is great, so do you want to do my record? And I did. I think it was the second single off the album, Disco Lies, which ended up going to #1 on the Billboard like hot dance charts or something. So that was a great experience. I got to do a lot of live shows with Moby because of the success of Disco Lies. We did Conan O'Brien, we did Carson Daly, and I did a Yahoo Sessions concert with him as well, where I got to sing a bunch of his big hits. I have to say that one of the coolest experiences I've had is working with Moby.
Great, thank you. Thank you so much. That was fantastic.
If you've got something to say, then say it. If you believe in what you're doing, then do it. And don't ever be afraid.
I can call you mine, 'cause we ain't got nothing but time. We ain't got nothing but time.
Thanks for listening. Love you guys. Peace.